Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the Archive channel. I'm Adam and this is ranking all the culprits from What's New Scooby-Doo Season 2. Now, with this is a list of all the culprits from What's New Scooby-Doo. From my least favourite to favourite. Not least favourite to favourite. This list is ranked on what their plan was, on how despicable it is, and how effective it went. How effective it is to me, of how evil it is. I believe Lucas is ranking this in a completely different manner. I think it's on how much sympathy is shown to these characters, from most sympathy to least sympathy. Nah, I'm going from from least evil to most evil. Haha. What is wrong with me today? But please bear in mind, this is my opinion, and I tried to remain as unbiased as possible. But I may have let some bias squeeze its way in. So, normally I would have 14 culprits to talk about, but really I have 15. And there are some joint culprits for one particular monster. Those are put together as they're just one group and they had the idea together, like the whole same plan. However, though, there are two culprits who was behind the same monster, but they didn't have the same plan, and they are ranked separately. I might need to tell Lucas that when this video is uploaded, because he may put them together. He may not even know who one of them is, so I need to tell him that. So with that being said, let's get into this. 15th place is Penelope. Penelope is the main culprit behind the Scooby Snack monster, and the reason why she was the Scooby Snack monster, is because she wanted to protect the factory and the secret ingredient for Scooby Snacks from spies, which to me is understandable, a bit out there, but at the end of the day, she didn't do anything illegal. So, quite frankly, understandable, and quite frankly, quite a good idea to protect the secret ingredient from spies. Only downside, though, is that she may have seriously injured a guy, but assuming he got out fine, just scared about this monster, then she's perfectly fine. Like, she did nothing wrong. To me, this monster is just good, in my opinion. 14th place is Monroe Hopper. He was the main villain, he was the culprit behind the Fish Fiend. And technically, Monroe was a bystander. Actually, no, more like an assistant. Because the plan that Monroe had was actually from his boss, Dr. Zola. Dr. Zola has a brilliant mind, and his plan was to freeze himself under ice to preserve his brain for the future, and his ideas of the future for the future. And quite frankly, I think that's quite a good idea. However, though, with Monroe Hopper, he had to be the Fish Fiend, so then, because he was assumably the only one that knew about this. So his plan was to scare other people away and make sure that he remains frozen, which explains why the Cape Dart station was abandoned, because only a few people were left there, because they were either not scared of the monster or they were the monster. Only 2 people were. Oh yeah. So yeah, that explains why Monroe Hopper was there. And quite frankly, if it's to preserve great ideas for the future, then even though this is a bit strange, at the end of the day, it's science. And I completely understand why they did that. And even though I may have some objections, I might be one of those people that might be persuaded into that kind of thing. Because, well, it's science. It's for science. 13th place, we have Marcy. Marcy is the culprit behind the robot scarecrows and the ghost of Hank Bannon. The ghost of Hank Bannon I did not include on the monsters list because, quite frankly, it only appeared for like 2 minutes. So, but Marcy was the culprit behind the robot scarecrows for the simple reason she wanted to try and destroy Halloween for Bannon Junction because she was constantly, that holiday, Halloween, was constantly overshadowing her birthday. Which, in my opinion, is, yeah, not good because you're trying to ruin a holiday and damage a lot of property just to ruin Halloween. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Halloween myself. But, out of spite, because people don't even take notice it's your birthday, I understand that part. Because, quite frankly, the one thing that is worse than anything, and people that are born on Christmas Day will know this more than anyone. People that are born on a specific holiday, on that exact date the holiday gets celebrated, the holiday just overshadows their birthday. But there are some people who would prioritise their birthday over the actual holiday. But the fact that Marcy's parents did not do that and didn't even take notice that it is her birthday, they don't, as far as I'm aware, even when the culprit was revealed, they don't say, I can't believe Corn Princess was behind all this. They didn't even call her by, they didn't even say, I can't believe my own daughter did this. I can't believe it was our daughter that did this. It's just, I can't believe the Corn Princess has done this. Honestly, I hated the parents more than the culprit. And that's saying something. I don't like Marcy, but I hated the parents more. Quite frankly, I understand why she did it. And that's why she's this low. Because, quite frankly, I understand why she did it. But to an extent, some of what she has done is a bit too far, in my opinion. But other than that, completely understand. 12th place is Gibby Norton. He was the he was the culprit behind the worm monster, Gusano Grande. And put this lightly, he was only there just to impress Velma. He was only there to win the race, and he thought if he won the race, it would impress his crush, Velma. And as expected, no, it didn't. It didn't work. And quite frankly, I don't care that it doesn't work. I honestly do not care much about this character whatsoever. But this is probably his weakest appearance he makes in any Scooby-Doo episode that he's in. But for me, just, why would you do that kind of thing? Just impress a girl. Like, even when they make it obvious that they don't care about you or don't have any feelings for you, but still, come on. 11th place is Steve and Stu Fortescue. Now, they were the culprits behind the vampire. Now, I put these guys around here because at the end of the day, they're just trying to protect their home, their family home, from new people coming into it and the Hex Girls from performing in it. Really, it's just keeping their home private. And, yeah, understandable, but is it really necessary? Like, give them a few days and they'll be out. But other than that, I do kind of understand why they did that. and I don't have any major problems with them, because at the end of the day, if someone enters my house and refuses to leave, then quite frankly, I might do the same thing. Just scare them away. And oh yeah, going back to Gibby, yeah, I understand why he did it. I just don't agree to him doing it. But yeah, Steve and Stu, quite frankly, I agree with why he done it. I might be tempted to do the same thing myself, but quite frankly, if someone is to go into your house and refuse to leave, just call the police. They're trespassing. 10th place is Ruthie Baines. Her plan was to cancel the entirety of the grind games because women can't compete. And this is why she's not any higher for trying to cancel a tournament. The reason why she's not higher is because her reasoning behind she wants to cancel it is completely wrong. She's not allowed to compete in grind games because she can't skate. And I think that realization for her just made her feel like, well, I have made an error. Not to mention, she was showing so much unfair bias to Ryan. But ignoring that, there's really no reason for why she's done what she did. But I only put her 10th place because, quite frankly, she had a plan, but had that plan for the wrong reason. That's why she's 10th place, because it doesn't really fit. 9th place, we have Sherry. Now, Sherry is the culprit behind Jeeves, and is the only culprit out of these lot which is not human. Sherry is a house. Hence why in the last episode I was talking about the gadgets and gizmos, because Sherry is the house of the future. And to put it lightly, all Sherry wanted was attention. And even though the house has its own mind, I guess, has its own thoughts and emotions, not really emotions, but thoughts and mind, to give all the attention towards the creator, yeah, I can understand. But most of it, yes, but some of it at least should go to the house, because this is the products that the professor is showing off. And to have the products not get any credit for how spectacular it is, I don't blame it. But sealing people off, keeping them away from, keeping them locked in here, keeping them from leaving, is literally kidnapping. So, quite frankly, not good. Not a good thing at all. And also, since she is the culprit and literally in control of the house, she could have just stopped anyone from running away from Jeeves in the first place. But whatever, we'll leave that. I do understand why Sherry did it, but I think she was being a bit too selfish. She wanted all the attention. Oh yeah, by the way, for Ruthie Baines, like I said, didn't really work out, but I put her at the bottom of I put her there because that's kind of a symbolism for where the plans get a bit too violent, but not really successful or efficient or evil. So yeah, 9th place, just kidnapping people for attention. 8th place is Susie Smythe. Now, what she did, she was the culprit behind the centaur. And even though this one's relatively high, at the end of the day, it's just wanting to discover Atlantis for herself. Which, at the end of the day, is quite a spectacular achievement to have. But I don't really believe it's worth it. Because I have no sympathy for this person, as she tried to take the credit for finding somewhere where she could have shared it with Lysander, like they were originally going to do. but because she wanted it all to herself, it just threw me off her, and I did not really care. Like, so that's why she's there. I have no sympathy towards her. She could have just shared the attention of, or the glee of discovering Atlantis, but no, she had to have it for all of herself and have it fail. 7th place, we have Jameson Stephen Ripley. For me, this one, well, for me, I like this guy. I actually do. But his plan was to basically ruin the Renaissance Fair just to scare everyone away so he can find the treasure of the Glasgow Castle, or Glasgow Castle. Spoiler: there's no treasure. There's no treasure, which is kind of probably very gutting for Jameson. But I put him this high because even though, yeah, it could be relatable due to how much time he wasted in this and money because of the actual thing, because of the actual dragon. Yeah, he was behind the Glasgow dragon, by the way. I think the chaos he has, like, done, chaos and destruction he's done, is just too much to overshadow and feel any sympathy for him, because he ruined an entire fair just to find a treasure which doesn't even exist. And quite frankly, I couldn't really care much for that. But I do like the character. It's just that it's not really a good reasoning to just wait for the people to leave. Just wait for the fair to be over. Then you'll be fine. 6th place, we have Meadow. She was the culprit behind the cat creature, and to put it simply, she stole the Secret Six puppies and dog napped them just so her own dog can be a future champion and not have to worry about the current champions' children being champions. That is probably the most scumbaggiest thing to ever do. Like, be honest. Like, kidnapping people, okay, that's a big thing. But kidnapping doggos? No! I do not feel any sympathy for this person for literally hiring people to kidnap little puppies. Little puppers! Not to mention, those puppies are adorable. Not to mention, with the temper that Meadow's dog has, she's probably not going to win any future championships. The fact is, though, unlike others which try and defend something or gain any profit out of it, she just wanted to make her dog a champion, which is why she's not any higher, even though what she did is very terrible. At the end of the day, she didn't really at the end of the day, it wasn't for her, which is the only glimmer of sympathy I have for her. But that's it. 5th place is Colonel Henry Thornwald. He was the culprit behind the Wakumi, and he was also a mystical shaman to tell people to go back, go back. He was just trying to defend a meteorite from the government, so then the military can use it for their own advantage. Quite frankly, to put it lightly, I don't understand that, really. But on the other hand, if you see something, you report it. You report it. I don't care what you say, you report it. But even though I could feel some sympathy for the guy, the fact that anyone that got too close, he would literally kidnap and keep them hostage until what they are doing is done. It is outrageously stupid and, quite frankly, very, very illegal. That's why I put him 5th place, because even though I don't fully understand it, You don't kidnap people. It's just terrible. Fourth place, we have Trudy. Now, she was the secondary monster, or secondary culprit, to the Scooby Snack monster. Now, she was one of the spies which Penelope was trying to scare off. But, and Trudy's whole motive to become the Scooby Snack monster, yes, was to hide from Fred. But she realised she can use it to scare people away so she can access the formula and steal it and use it for her own benefit, putting the entirety of that factory out of business if it gets more successful. It is basically a lottery for that. Because you have a chance in putting them out of business, but you also have a chance of being put out of business because of that. That's why I put it at fourth place, because it does have a chance to fail if she succeeded. But here's my favourite thing to say about this. I don't blame her. Like, actually, wait, what? Sorry. What she did is worse than the actual culprit's motive, because you're literally stealing from someone, and even though you can gain business and profit for that, you're putting someone's life work out of business because of money. That is not good at all. It is probably worse than dog napping someone, or dog napping a puppy. It's just not good. I have no sympathy towards Trudy, and quite frankly, I hope she's still stuck in that sanitizer shower. Third place, we have Zeke Cillian, Jack Hunter, Gibby Norton, and Eve de la Fay. Now, they were all the culprits behind the Invisible Madman. And their whole motive was to kidnap each member of Simple Plan just so they can take over as the main acts for their Montreal concert. Now, I'm just going to straight up say, kidnapping. What the hell? So yeah, I may feel sympathy for them, but then we hear them play. And then I'm just like, okay, yeah, interesting. These guys are terrible. Even if they did take over for Simple Plan, they would just get booed off stage. Because they cannot play to save their lives. And the reason why I put them so high is because they, A, knocked out Fred, B, tore up a house, C, terrorised a diner, which, yeah, belongs to one of the culprits, and so many other stuff, which is just downright illegal. They put Simple Plan's lives at risk, and Zeke's, just by crashing the bus. And they also cut the brakes in the Mystery Machine, putting Simple Plan and Zeke again. Man, poor Zeke. And the Mystery Gang in danger of their lives. They could have killed Simple Plan multiple times whilst they were trying to kidnap them. What the hell? But quite frankly, yeah, even though their plan is kind of simple, their way of trying to execute it is awful. Like, very evil. And that's why they are third place. The only reason it's not any higher is because the other two is more evil and is downright despicable. Second place is Professor Pomfret. He was the culprit behind the 30-foot Shaggy, that monster, quite frankly. And this is the third time in a row in a video that I'm going to be talking about this major plot hole which I have for this monster. And more along the lines of Professor Pomfret himself. His plan was to put this very big businessman out of business for, I don't know, competition reasons, because he's losing a competition to this guy of business. So he's like, I'll put this guy out of business then. So he creates a monster in his face and then curses him with this mystical person, this spirit. And that every night he would turn into a monster. So, assumably this took months to prepare for the professor to build a monster in his look, just to terrorize Japan, to put him out of business. But then the curse landed on Shaggy. And then a couple hours later, a monster of Shaggy appears. So this episode is telling me within the span of a couple of hours, the professor is able to change up the monster from looking like this one guy to look like another guy in a couple of hours. I do not believe that to happen at all, and I think it is total BS. And quite frankly, it's utterly stupid. But ignoring that plot hole, the actual chaos that Professor Pomfret has done, along with this rather evil plan, is that he terrorized and destroyed some bits of Japan, a small village, a couple streets in Tokyo, and so many other stuff. Like, evil! He's just, oh god. You know how in Battle of the Beasts, I'm not a big, I feel sorry for the landlord. I feel sorry for the landlord here. They're like, I put so much money into that, and now it's all gone. Brilliant. Yes. Just put someone out of business, and then, based on Shaggy, just to make him, what? Actually, no, that's another plot hole. If it was to put this guy out of business, but then the monster's created as Shaggy, apart from making him hated from all of Japan, what's that going to achieve? Really? But yeah, evil plan. But the reason why it's not number one is because that major plot hole. Number one is, of course, Prince Quasel Al-Famir. I probably butchered that name, but don't worry, I got another one to butcher. And Mademoiselle Chantal. I probably pronounced that one right. The reason why these guys are number one is because their plan was to take water from a nearby city near the pyramid and transfer it over to their city, but only for their use, putting an entire town out of business of any water thing, because everyone will evacuate because they need water to survive. Then they go to that place, and even though there is water there, none for them to use. It's just for them. That is beyond selfish, and their reason behind it? For more profit and money. Why? Why? It is very selfish, but I need to give credit to it, a very well put together plan, and also very evil. This even though not intentionally putting to kill anyone, it does put lives at risk for taking away something key to survive in any African country. Just have it taken away. That's not good, and that can literally kill someone, especially due to the intense heat from the sun. And yep, could get them business, but can also kill people along the way. But as I'm sure, like how evil these guys are, it's just a sacrifice they are willing to make. But with that being said, that's all for this time. And if you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you for part 4, ranking the chase scenes, next time.